Hi. In this episode, we're talking about the importance of educating our daughters. There are broad sections of the Christian community that are more geared toward training girls to be wives and mothers rather than preparing them for the workforce. A common expression is that women attend college to get an MRS degree. I'm sure there were many moments when my wife wondered why in the world she was completing a degree from Harvard University when she was up to her elbows in diapers, in formula, and in baby food, and I was the primary breadwinner. My wife's dad often encouraged her by pointing out that there are no greater tasks for parents than training and educating our children. We often think it's all about us, the parents, but one reason I think women should excel in education is that it gives them a stronger position to educate their own children. As we've moved several times in response to persecution and ministry callings, my wife's education has also provided more flexibility in providing for our family.
There is a Redeemer, Jesus, God's own Son, precious Lamb of God, Messiah, Holy One.
An important principle is that parents should broaden possibilities and open doors rather than narrowing possibilities and closing doors for their children. Many women are given short shrift when families prioritize the education of their sons over the education of their daughters. Even before we had children, my wife and I decided that we'd work hard to provide the same level of educational opportunities for our daughters as for our sons. God's unique giftings and callings are as likely to be revealed to the children as to the parents, and we did not want to narrow the field of possibilities by constraining our daughters to more traditional gender roles by their education. God can do that through other means if He chooses. My wife laid her career aside when we needed so she could fulfill her duties as a wife and mother. And my daughter can do that also if she marries and has children and her husband and her decide to do that. I've tried to set a similar example for my sons. I'm reminded of the Proverbs 31 woman who was successful in business. I'm reminded of Tabitha in the book of Acts, and I'm reminded of the women who followed Jesus and provided financially for His needs out of their own means. At some point, generosity requires the ability to earn in order to be able to give. I've also seen too many women hang on to bad and harmful relationships with evil men who cheat on them, who abuse them, simply because of their inability to provide for themselves. We did not want to paint our daughter into that corner, and I encourage you not to paint your daughters into that corner either. One fundamental biblical purpose of education is to fulfill the good commission given in Genesis, to be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. The way many Christians and others view education is as if the Bible had an explicit division of labor. And don't get me wrong, what I'm about to say is the false division of labor that many people misinterpret. As if the Bible says to women, be fruitful and multiply, and the Bible says to men, fill the earth and subdue it. God's actual words in Genesis 1 are, so God created man in His own image. In the image of God He created him. Male and female He created them. And God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. And God blessed them, male and female together. And God said to them, male and female together, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. male and female, husband and wife, share jointly in the blessing and the commission of bearing and raising children and in exercising dominion over the earth. Education should reflect this in preparing women as well as men to serve God in many and various callings, doctors, scientists, engineers, whatever their individual hope and calling that God has put on their heart. The parental task, including education, is to open doors for our children rather than closing doors. Let me also mention that in the 21st century, we've seen growing affirmative action programs in hiring and promotion. These programs are resulting in growing biases against Christian men in hiring practices in many job markets. Straight, white Christian men are especially disadvantaged. I'm not crazy about involuntary role reversals in home life, but more and more families are finding that a woman who is well educated often has more and better job opportunities than an equally qualified husband.
The good life is the land where the big grapes grow, milk and honey flow from the morning till the night, and everybody's singing to Jesus. Yeah, the good life is the land where the big grapes grow, milk and honey flow from the morning till the night, and everybody's singing to Jesus. Oh, I love Jesus. La 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 la.